Hey baking babes, it's me, Symone, aka the Baking Beauty, and today's sweet treat is this organic apple cinnamon bundt cake with a caramel glaze. Now I know that sounds like a lot and very complicated, but trust me when I tell you it's super simple. So to begin this video off, I want to make sure that I let you all know that of course this video is sponsored by Naturally Sweet Bakery, the organic and all natural bakery that delivers to you. If you guys want more information on them, they'll be linked in the description box. Also, for the full details on my recipe, go ahead and click here and that'll take you straight to my blog where I have this recipe posted with the exact quantities and all that other good stuff. But now let's jump right into the video. So to start, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 325 degrees and grease your bundt pan. So to grease my pan, I of course use butter and then I dusted it lightly with some flour so that I can make sure my batter doesn't stick. However you want to do it, lining it, which I don't recommend. But if you want to do it that way, that's fine. However you want to do it is how you want to do it. But I would recommend buttering it and then giving it a light little touch of flour and then you're good to go. Next, you're going to want to make sure that you combine all of your wet ingredients until it is a nice and gold liquidy consistency. A lot of people say fluffy. I say liquidy because there ain't no fluff in this, okay? It's just a golden color. So I'm gonna take my hand mixer and just slowly beat all of my ingredients together until it's just combined. Now that I've done that, I'm going to, of course, sift together my dry ingredients in a separate bowl before I incorporate it all into the batter. So I'm just going to sift my flour and then just add all of my other ingredients on top of that and use a spatula just to mix it together until it's combined. Now that I have all my dry ingredients nice and mixed together, it's time to mix both the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients in together to make that batter. So for me, I like to divvy up my wet ingredients so that I can incorporate it a lot easier. It is a lot harder to mix all of your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients without making more of a brick rather than a cake because you end up overbeating it to try to get it to the right consistency. So my tip is to divvy it up into 3 parts and then go ahead and just fold it in with the same spatula until you get more of the doughy consistency that we want for this cake. Now that I've gone ahead and mixed everything together, this is my favorite part, and this is going in and incorporating not only my apples, but my chopped nuts. Now I used walnuts, but you can use pecans, or is it pecans? You can use whatever chopped nuts you want to use in them, or you can just go without it if you don't like them. But I personally like to just add a little bit of texture to my cake, so I mix them both together. So you want to fold those in and then you're ready to pop this into the oven. Now that we've gotten our apples and our chopped nuts, or no chopped nuts, folded into the batter, now it's time to add it into our pan and then put it in the oven. Now this is going to form more of a dough rather than a cake batter, so you're going to make sure you plop it in evenly. I use the spatula, but because this is very doughy, you can actually use your hands if you want to, but I want it to be nice and neat today. Not usually, but today I did. So you can go ahead and just make sure you flatten it out until it's nice and full, and then pop that into the oven. Now this is going to go into the oven for about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, but depending on how thick your batter is, it could take shorter or longer. So you're going to want to make sure you're watching your cake batter. After around 55 minutes, you're going to want to make sure you check your batter every couple of minutes to make sure it is done. So as the cake is cooling, it is now time to make the caramel glaze. Now this is super simple. You can do it one of two ways. You can either melt your butter and make sure it is piping hot and then incorporate all of your ingredients into a really hot bowl, or you can go ahead and boil it until it forms more of a thicker caramel. It depends on how thick you want it to be or how easy you want to work with it. So for me, I boiled my caramel glaze over the stove and then I let it simmer until it formed the thick glaze that I wanted. But either way, it's perfectly fine and it is totally up to you. After we've let our cake cool just enough so that we could pop it out of the pan, that's when you want to cover it with that caramel glaze and make sure it is still somewhat warm. You don't want to put it on a cold cake because it won't seep through. You want it to actually seep into the cake so you can taste it in every bite. So you're going to want to make sure that while the cake is still somewhat warm, that you're drizzling that caramel all over the top. So that is it for this recipe. Thank you guys for watching this week's sweet treat. Please let me know if you like this in the comments, and also give this a thumbs up if you like the video. If you want the full details, of course, check my blog out. I've linked it in the description box, so you can go ahead and print off the recipe there and everything that you need to do it. I would love to hear what you guys think of all of these recipes. Thank you guys once again for watching. Share the video with others so they can make this cake too. And then definitely subscribe to my channel so you can catch every week's sweet treat. They are out on Saturdays at 9 a.m. Thank you guys for watching and joining my fam. Thank you so much. So that is it. Thank you guys. See you guys in my next video. Bye.